everybody, what's up? I'm Dylan D and welcome back. Today we finally have the showcase and world download for the 2 Directional Flying Fortress from War of the Machines Volume 2. And if you haven't already, then definitely go check out War of the Machines Volume 2 when you get a chance. It is by far my most favorite video on the channel right now, and a lot of upcoming videos will be on the machines that appeared in that video. So do yourself a favor, go check it out when you can. But stay tuned until the end of today's video for more updates, including what is to come. And if everyone can help me get to 200 likes on this video, I will drop a brand new robot tutorial that works on all editions of Minecraft before next weekend's upload. But if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to keep this amazing content coming. But I've made everyone wait way too long, so let's go ahead and just jump into today's video. So this is where we're going to spawn into the world. We'll come back to the house. Obviously, this video is all about the robot, in which that's the engine right here. So that's where we're going to spend most of our time around the machine, is around the engine. In which, yeah, that definitely, obviously there's a lot to go over, but we'll use this point right here as the point of reference. We're going to go ahead and come over to this observer block. There is a chain of observers that just run right underneath the fortress, and they are attached to all of these TNT cannons outside of the fortress. If you remember in War of the Machines Volume 2, that's what he uses to blast away all of the enders and what have you. In which, yeah, definitely one of my favorite scenes as well. Definitely gets pretty crazy when you realize that he was pretty prepared the whole time. But yeah, no, definitely coming back to the middle here, we're going to activate this observer. Now, when I activate it, I like to leave it lit because there is a lot of lag. The fire going out kind of acts as a timer, as you can see here. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite parts about the machine. Alright, so coming back in, you can see that the TNT cannons are actually going to go ahead and stop due to that flame going out on the observer, in which it's going to do a little system clear as well, firing off what's left in the TNT cannon. Once that is all done, perfect. Yeah, once that is all done, you can see here that obviously the machines do turn on and off. Sometimes, though, they do blow up, as, of course, TNT cannons do with their mishaps, as you can see here. But yeah, definitely that's why there are so many to definitely, even that out so you can obviously fire away with all the ones that are left. Alright, coming back to the middle of the machine, you can see that we are surrounded in observer blocks, in which each one of these observer blocks, when updated, actually launches its own missile. It sends a signal directly down and then underneath the edge of the fortress into immovable piston extenders that actually push a redstone block into place. To demonstrate that, obviously I'm mashing that right click there, but we can't update it with the flint and steel anymore, which was... honestly, which I'm going to miss, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and come over to one of the middle observers and update it with a block. That still will work, in which we're going to go over and see that update happen over here. There's enough lag happening to where we can see the whole machine break that down for us. This redstone block will slide up into that missile and, of course, fire it off. Just waiting for that signal to come through the machine into this immovable area, into the piston extenders. Perfect, there it is. Now, in which it's going to move a little slow, obviously without all the lag, though this piston extender is much faster. It's going to push this redstone block up into place. You're going to see another piston push the redstone block into the missile, firing it off. In which, of course, yeah, definitely, all the lag definitely actually does help slow down, so you can actually see how the updates happen. Alright, I've left this block alone though, of course, obviously because we've already used that missile, wouldn't want to waste time updating it again on accident later. Let's go ahead and update 4 of these observers at the same time, just to show that they're all connected to individual missiles. We'll go out here to the missiles there, and the game is of course back to full speed without all that lag, in which of course you can see the missiles are actually extremely fast. So we'll go ahead, we'll see how far they get real fast. Yeah, no, definitely can get very far away. Given that, of course, the tip of the missile, it is a mini cruiser, so the tip of the missile does not exceed the 12-block push limit. But coming back, no, we're going to go ahead and deal with these observers now on the second block up, in the corners there. They are actually responsible for activating and launching all of their segment of missiles, so everything in that area, I guess, so to speak, for each observer. In which we'll go ahead and update it with a block, in which it's actually going to move all of the TNT out of the way. On the top here, as you can kind of tell, in which from there, the bottom of the missile is updated to launch. And this TNT here is actually the one that was moved out of the way, in which you can see it was moved out of the way or else it would run into that obsidian there. Reason being, if you're coming up with the fortress and you haven't launched the missiles, obviously they're still a part of the machine there. You don't want them to blow up, so then of course that obsidian would stop it because that TNT wouldn't be moved, and then of course it actually positions it perfectly, which I'll show you a little bit later in the video. But you can see here that the missiles now actually go right around that obsidian. Alright, so before we continue there, we're going to go ahead and put this back to a flying condition. After you fire the missiles, you can see here that there's an extended sticky piston still. So what we're going to do is update the machine a couple more times to bring this observer block back, and then push it back forward and get the machine back to a reasonable position. So just remove the block that you placed there. It's going to move the observer back once. Now after it's done that, you can actually go ahead and come back and place another block again. It's going to go ahead and reset the machine to a flyable standard there. Now in which of course the only thing that wouldn't fly is the observer that's still there, so you can go ahead and remove the block that you placed and it will go ahead and move the observer back. But definitely of course don't use obsidian if you're in survival or anything like that. It would take forever to mine out. But of course there are other missiles on the machine that aren't so towering and don't have updating tech mechanisms and whatnot. So watch that block here. You can come up to these missiles and update the sticky piston. It's going to move that block and then update the bottom of the missile to launch it up into the air. Now, in which before we go up there and watch it explode, you definitely want to make sure that you obviously set this back so it can fly again, and you can even set that block back by kind of updating the sticky piston again. So that covers everything on the ground. We're going to hop up into the captain's seat. I used purple because it resembled a launch button. You'd update it, you just strike right there with the flint and steel, but now, of course, we just have to update the observer underneath us with that obsidian that I placed, but you can use any block that you wish. From there, obviously, we'll take off. But to ride this to the top, you want to stand on this end stone block. If you stand anywhere else, you will drop through the machine as far as if you stand on the observers or a slime block. So you definitely want to stand here to move yourself up to the top. Alright, so now I'd like to show you a time lapse of the machine moving, in which, yeah, there's going to be a ton of ghost blocks underneath it, but once it actually reaches the top there, it'll all update. Once all the chunks update, you can see that it definitely does move. Another thing that you also watched in War of the Machines is the main character actually stopped the machine by placing a immovable block right here, which is actually very real. you can definitely do that. In which, of course, we can actually watch the machine stop moving. We can follow the circuit up as each sticky piston is pulling itself over the 12-block push limit, pushing itself up. And this shape that it stops in actually resembles the shape that it's in when it's on the ground. So it's very easy to get it back in moving again to the top. So yes, that you can do. But something you can't do, as you can see, these missiles are moving, but they are still attached to the little launching mechanisms there. So you can't actually launch the missiles as I do in War of the Machines there, as it goes through the top and actually destroys the jets. But hey, makes for a really cool concept. But yeah, to get it started again, all you do is actually remove the piece of obsidian, and then we're going to update this observer block, but you want to do it in such a way, obviously, as you can see, everything's just kind of hanging here. It's going to go back up, so whatever you update this area with, this observer with, you want to remove right away, or else it'll put that bottom piece over the 12-block push limit. So to demonstrate that real quick, I'm going to go ahead and place a block here, and as it starts moving up, you want to break the block, like so, just like that. All right, now that we're at the top of the structure here, if I can find the engine. Oh, here we go. Awesome. And now that we are at the top here, what we're going to do is actually traverse our way up the machine. There will be a block there in the world download, no worries. But we're going to traverse up this little tower that's formed since you've reached the top of the structure. Once up here, you can see that this is the reason why we want to launch the missiles before we come up, or else they are just huge targets for other enemy incoming missiles. But enough of all that. What we'll do first is show you how the missiles work on the machine. Obviously up here, same thing. All of these observers will stand for missiles, so you can obviously place them anywhere on each of the observers, and each one will launch a missile that you haven't launched already on the ground. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wait for that update to happen through here. This one's very simple. It's literally just a chain of observers going all the way down to a sticky piston that has a redstone block floating in the sky. And then it just, of course, pushes the redstone block into place and launches out the missiles. Coming back to the center, the machine actually does have a operational escape pod. I actually even mentioned this in War of the Machines, and I'll roll that clip real quick.
So yeah, I'll try to slow these things down, and you go get the escape pod ready. I just hope this works.
Even though they don't end up actually using the escape pod, you'll definitely have to watch it to see what happens in that instance. This is how it would be used. You do have to remove blocks so you can reach this area where you can drop in the redstone block. Then obviously your escape pod will fly off and away from whatever's about to happen to the fortress, or if, of course, you have lost all hope and you cannot win whatever battle. That's not all. The machine actually has some hidden features, I guess, that haven't actually been out or actually been published, I guess, on my channel. So we're definitely going to go over that. As you can see out here, there's these little walkways, obsidian walkways that lead down to these little platforms of slime block and chiseled stone, in which we're going to go ahead and go down there. These are, I guess, TNT minecart drops. You can actually put a powered rail, like right here on this slime block, and then actually go ahead and put another rail, obviously, right here so you can launch it. I just have a redstone torch, and I put it on the chiseled block right here to activate it when there is a TNT minecart on it, in which, yeah, as you can see, it's going to go ahead and fall down and destroy whatever threat is on the bottom. Now, this would have been plan B in War of the Machines. They would have, obviously extinguished all the zombies or waited for it to quote-unquote blow over. But then, yeah, they were saying that they couldn't definitely do that. But from there, of course, you can see, yeah, it's going to set off some stuff, but that's all right. Coming back up, there's a big thing about this with the new update that I've seen. It could be different with any system that you're running it on, in which if you exceed 2 minecarts, TNT minecarts, then it will destroy the machine just completely. So I'm going to demonstrate that as well. We're just going to go ahead and just wreck this whole machine. And as you can see, oops. All right, so once you've had enough of being up in the sky, you can definitely take the machine back down, as it is a 2-directional flying fortress. You come out to these walkways here, though, because you want to update these missiles. You want to place a redstone torch right here on this slime block on every missile on the machine to update it, to take it back down with you, if, of course, you did bring up a missile. Again, to show you how that works, you come to this slime block. I'll come a little closer here. Place the redstone torch. It updates the sticky piston to put it into a launchable position back down to the ground. From there, yeah, I'll show you one last time here on this slime block, and then obviously don't forget to remove it there. But there's about 14 missiles that you want to do that to. Now, once you've done that, you want to come down to this observer, and you're going to update it. And in which, once you update that, as long as you have all your missiles good to go, in which you can even leave your missiles at the top if you do so wish, you can actually fly the machine back down without that. But yeah, once you update that observer, it's going to take your machine all the way back down to the ground. And of course, like always, I'll go ahead and give you a time lapse of that so you can see the machine moving. Obviously, there's going to be plenty of ghost blocks until the machine reaches the bottom and the chunks update. And lastly, as promised, I'll go ahead and definitely show you our hero's home for this, or I guess our hero's hut, so to speak, in which, as you can see here, you come down that ladder out of that trap door, and it's his hut. This is what you see in War of the Machines Volume 2. And then, of course, yeah, once you come in this way, there are different segments to his house that you can definitely reach. This is just kind of a chill area to go back up or go out the front door. If you come down this way, we're actually going to go this direction first. This is obviously his farm, the under part of the farm, or the collection area, if you will, where everything is collected into that chest that you can see here through these hoppers from all of the hopper minecarts. But yeah, from there, I'm actually taking you back to the back here. There's a maintenance door that you are able to access in the back. Once you go through the maintenance door, you can come down and you can actually see the entire craziness, mass of observers everywhere, where you're able actually to roam around, see how everything is kind of hooked up and whatnot. But in which you can see that magma block room. We're actually about to go head over there right now. We'll go back up through the maintenance hatch here. Of course, close the door. All right, so coming back this way, oops, didn't mean to do that. Once we come back this way, we can actually go down this ladder. Fun fact, this area was actually in the first preview for War of the Machines. There's actually a little snippet that you see this 4-directional flying machine actually going around this little area there, but I decided to take it out since there was no really big relevance of the machine at all. But how to turn it on, to prove that it is a 4-directional machine, go ahead and place a block right there, in which it's going to go ahead and send it around. Now those little segments actually update an observer on each side of the 4-directional machine to keep it going around the little centerpiece there. And as you can see, it's kind of artsy. The logs on the side kind of complete the trees as you go around the centerpiece. Kind of fun. Thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, again, I ended up cutting it just due to it not really having too big of a purpose in the actual War of the Machines. But that's going to do it for today's video, you guys. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Definitely drop a like if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. First up, though, I want to thank all of the 5,000 plus subscribers that have stuck around. That is absolutely incredible, you guys. I know I've had a bunch of shout-outs in that meantime, and I haven't been active for them. I definitely wish I was, but that's all right. Now is a better time than never. But yeah, no, from there, now, of course, the grind to 10,000 subscribers begins. I will be uploading every weekend on either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Best way to find out which day, though, is to subscribe and tap that bell for notifications. Again, if this video gets 200 likes, I will drop a brand new tutorial for a few of the transportation-themed slime block robots before next weekend's upload that work in all editions of Minecraft. But yeah, no, definitely. Lastly, for those who have watched War of the Machines Volume 2, definitely I want to know what your favorite part of War of the Machines Volume 2 was. So blow up the comments and let me know. I will then feature my favorite response in next weekend's video. I have a ton of brand new ideas for videos and whatnot, so I'll definitely let you all know more later on. But until then, you guys, later late.